Will it be willing to spend a minute with us?
Oh, we'd love that. Yeah. We'd love that.
Okay,
yes.
cool. Selves?
I'm William.
And I'm Max.
And we are from the Santa Barbara Middle School Teen Press. Tonight we're here with...
I'm OSCAR Bucher with Nelson Algren Live.
And I'm Cole Bucher, Oscar's son.
Nice to meet you. So, we read in a LA Times story about the original reading of Nelson Algren Live, written in 2009. Tell us about the sources of the footage you used for today's film. When did you begin to make this film?
Wow, that's a great question. Well, it was a long process. So it was first a play, and then a lot of times when you make a documentary, you have interview footage, and then on top of the interview footage, you put what's called B-roll, right? Stuff you cut away. So if they're talking about oceans and you're interviewing a scientist in his office, you want to see the ocean, so you cut to what you call B-roll of the ocean or what have you, right? So this was a trickier problem because it's all about the 1940s. So how do you find B-roll and stuff from that time period? So you become a little bit like a detective, and you start looking for archives. So we actually flew to Chicago and we met with a 91-year-old Time Life photographer, and he opened up his whole archives to us, and he had stacks of photographs in every room, and all sorted in some crazy manner. And he's pulled out some incredibly rich photographs. And then, of course, thanks to the internet, now you can search through collections from the government, private collections that people put on Flickr. Of course, you need to get rights for it, so I'd actually email people and say, hey, I saw your family photos from Chicago. They're fantastic. Do you want them in a movie? Do you give me permission? And they're like, oh yeah, of course. So fun stuff like that. And then also archive.org is an incredible library of footage. So there's a lot of different places, and then the tricky part is bringing it to life. And nowadays you have a lot of options besides just zooming in on a photo. You can actually cut it apart in the Photoshop and make different layers out of it. So you can actually zoom in and go around corners and have it be a little more three-dimensional. Actually, that is the proper thing to do, and I did not. I actually did it in Final Cut and kind of cheated my way through that by, just kind of doing different speed Ken Burns effects on these different layers.
You also cut it apart.
And I cut it apart in Photoshop first, and then used the clone tool to fill in holes in the backgrounds where after you cut. If you have a picture of this wonderful man here and cut him out from the background, then there's a hole in the background, so you have to steal from the sides and replace that, and then all of a sudden you have a stacked element. It's not really 3D, it's 2.5D, because it's still flat but on different layers. But it's fun and it's cinematic.
And what do you think, what's next for the film and for you?
Wow, well, thanks to festivals like this, I've actually been approached by 4 distributors already. So it's really pretty exciting, and that's really a great benefit of festivals, is not only to show it to people, but also kind of explode out to the world. So we'll see where these go, but we already have a lot of meetings set up, and things look pretty promising. So I'm excited. And then for me, I'm working on TV shows, and I'm hoping to also be developing a television pilot with Barry Gifford, and we'll see how things go. I'm really thankful for this festival. It's my hometown, Santa Barbara. I have to say, you guys are from middle school. I got my start in video and film in middle school, and that's where it all started for me. That was Jeff, and it was mostly Jeff and Tom Baldwin, and then Domi with drama. And then I actually interned, or the internship I did with Eric, who's your drama teacher now at Montessori School. Yeah, so that's what really kicked it in and gave me. And I took film studies class with Whitney. So all of that just really fueled a love and started to deconstruct, how do you do this? How do you put this on screen? How do you make this magic happen? So it really did start in middle school, and I just keep going from there.
So you've been struggling through your father making this film for how many years?
For about 10 whole or 2 years. 2 years.
2 years, it felt like 10. So what did you do to keep your life going while he was like abandoning you by going off to look at dusty old pictures in Chicago?
Well, while he was while he was on trips or stuff filming, I would stay home and try to work on my own game. Like I'd make like videos of my own sometimes of like
Are you
what
a filmmaker?
I'm working on it.
Great.
So yeah.
So
I'm a director.
when you think about making films, are you thinking about documentaries or are you making up stories? Are you doing what's called narrative?
Well, both kind of like I did like a film about I like filmed someone once of just like about like someone like for a school project just about like a famous baseball player and then I also like just like to make up stuff like I'm
Like make up a world where you don't have a brother? Things should be calm and
that would
peaceful.
be nice, yeah. But yeah, it's cool to make up your own story where like you can decide where things end. So yeah.
Okay. Wow. All right. Best of luck to you. Thanks for talking to us.
Thank you.
Thank you guys. It is a pleasure. Well done, all of you guys.